Stainton. I'm a faculty in the Religious Studies Department. I teach about South Asian religions. And I'm very, very happy today to be introducing our speaker, Ms. NiveditaDidi, who also known as Didi, the Vice President of the Swami Vivekananda Kendra organization in India. And she's here in the United States in association with the 150th anniversary of Swami Vivekananda's birth. Swami Vivekananda, who was a great Hindu monk, Hindu ascetic, he was a great teacher, a great reformer, and he was very important in both the revival of Hinduism within India and very much in the connection between the United States and the West and India and our knowledge of Hinduism and India. Swami Vivekananda, he did not live for a very long time. Sadly, he passed away when he was only 39 years old, but he did a tremendous amount in his life. He was a brilliant student, and he studied with a great mystic in Calcutta, in Ramakrishna, and he became a monk, and he led an order of monks and traveled all over India. And in 1893, he came to the United States via Japan, actually, and he participated in the Parliament of the World's Religions in Chicago. And this was a major event, representatives from all over the world. And it's, looking back, it's important to remember that in the 19th century, people in the United States and in the West did not know very much about Hinduism. They did not know very much about India, and even less, very few people had spoken, knew or encountered anyone, a Hindu or someone from India. So, here at the Parliament of Religions, Swami Vivekananda came on stage, and here he is. He was dressed in orange robes. He had a large turban on. He was, handsome, extremely intelligent, well-spoken. He spoke with, perfect English, and he addressed the convention, sisters and brothers of America, and that, with that, he got 2 minutes of applause just from there. Because in addition to teaching about yoga and Vedanta and Hinduism, he captured the spirit of connection that was taking place, the spirit of universality, of kind of oneness between different people in different places, bringing them closer together. So his own life is very inspiring, and Didi's life also, it's a very, very inspiring life. I've been delighted to learn more in the last few days. When she was probably about the age of some of you, and younger than many of us, she was 19 years old when she made the commitment to a life of service. She joined and enrolled in the Vivekananda Kendra at the age of 19 and received training, and then since then has been involved in service activities all over India. The Kendra does education work, medical work, really wonderful service projects all over India. So, it's wonderful to have her here with her own inspiring life story and continuing Swami Vivekananda's work. Before I proceed, I just want a couple of logistical things. First of all, I'd like to thank very much Narayani and Geeta-ji for organizing the event, and the sponsors for the event, the Center for Global and International Studies, the South Asia program in particular, and also the Department of Religion, of Religious Studies. So I'd like to thank them for sponsoring. I would also like to invite all of you to please silence or turn off your cell phones. Now is a really good time. So thank you in advance for doing that now. And just about the format for today, Didi's going to speak for a few minutes and show us some slides, but we've actually asked her to give some space for questions and answers early on, because many of you need to proceed to your next classes. So she'll speak for a few minutes, for a little while, and we'll have a chance for question and answers. And then at 11:50, we'll take a short pause so that those of you who need to transition to another class can do so. And then we'll continue, and she'll hopefully be showing a short film, and we'll continue the conversation. So that's how we'll be proceeding today. On a personal note, I'd like to say that in the encounters that I've been able to have with her in the last couple of days, not only has she shown great wisdom and great knowledge and love for her tradition, but she's also shared her wonderful sense of humor and her very, very down-to-earth approach to helping people in India and all over the world and making this a better world. So it's a real pleasure to have her here, and please join me in welcoming her today.
First of all, my namaskars to all of you. And also, I want to tell you specifically that I am very happy to be with all of you here, because as Hamsa was telling, that it is America, it is United States of America, who really appreciated, admired Swami Vivekananda very well. He was very well received here, and that is how he became a world-known spiritual figure. So I am very happy to be here as I follow follow Swami Vivekananda. You know, Swami Vivekananda, as it was told, that when he came here for first 2 months, you know, he was an unknown monk here, because the Parliament of Religion was postponed by 2 months, and he did not know any Veds of here or any person here. So in India he had told his people, you just get a ticket for me. I will go, I am a monk, I shall beg for food, I shall sleep under the tree, and I will participate in the Parliament of Religions. But only after coming here he knew that here there are different rules. You cannot just beg food, you cannot sleep under the tree. And and then he had to face lot of problems. And it was in those days, as Emerson had told Swami Vivekananda, that perhaps if you would have come 50 years before, people would have stoned you to death. You know, because we didn't know each other. We were all separated. So a different dress, a strange person coming. But fortunately he had come after 50 years. So though he had to face some difficulties of cold, of hunger, still there were persons who were very kind-hearted. They came out, they helped him. And in that one was Professor Wright from Harvard University. And therefore I am again happy to be in one of the universities in America. It is Professor Wright who wrote a letter and who got his name registered in the Parliament of Religions. It is he who purchased a train ticket for him. So that's how Swami Vivekananda ultimately participated in the Parliament of Religions. But in these 2 months and later, when he was very well received and he was on the top of the peak of popularity, it was from the both angles he saw the society here. And before that, in India also, he had gone around the country. So he had seen the society there also. And he found, whether in the East or the West, it is the same humanity which is trying to struggle, trying to evolve, trying to find ultimate happiness in life, satisfaction in life. And for that, they think something, then they try that, it doesn't work, it brings more unhappiness, again it is trying. And for the coming modern man, there are going to be few problems which he has to face. One is the disintegration, that is disintegration of the families, of the society, even separating ourselves from the nature. Or we are going to face the problem of skepticism. Ultimately, what is good in life? Somewhere we lose faith in everything. Or we are going to face the problem of irreligiosity. Ultimately, what is God? Somewhere sitting, I don't believe in that. But there is something here, that divinity is here. God is not somewhere else, but it is very much present. It has manifested in all these forms, and I am also potentially divine. So this thought of potential divinity of man, of oneness of existence, that will ultimately help the humanity. And that is what Swami Vivekananda, for 3.5 years, he kept touring the different cities of United States of America. He also went to England, and then he returned to India. And that is how, after he returned to India, his lectures from Colombo to Almora kept on insisting on this for Indians, that wake up Bharat, you have this message of oneness to give for the further progress of humanity. As each nation has something to contribute for the growth of humanity, India has to contribute this, but before that India will have to practice it. India would have to come up, and therefore he told wake up India. So taking that message of Swami Vivekananda, later Vivekananda Kendra came up, and that is how I shall be narrating, as I was told, to discuss with you a few of the aspects of Vivekananda Kendra. So this is the early beginnings. As we know, Swami Vivekananda in 1892, he went round the whole India. As he was here 2 months, he was going around. In 1892, he went round whole India, and that is where he found a land which has a message of spirituality, a land which for 1700 years, as told by Angus Madison now, by his World Economic History book, he has proved this, that India was the richest country, but it was in utter poverty, in utter ignorance, and the whole message was forgotten, and that pained him much. But if we see something wrong around, it is not we keep blaming, but the question is, what is it that I can do to set it right? And that is the question which started tormenting him, that what is it that I should do so that this country which has fallen so badly will come up again. And it is with that question ultimately he reached Kanyakumari. In Kanyakumari, these twin rocks are there in the sea, and he felt as if the rock is pulling him. Then he later came to know that as per the tradition, Kanyakumari, that is one goddess, had done penance there. So he felt, yeah, it has right vibrations, and therefore I should go there. And that's how he swam the sea, and then sat there on 25th December to 27th December 1892. 3 days and 3 nights he meditated on that rock. But it was very unique meditation. See, a monk is meditating not for God realization, not for peace, not for happiness of himself, but his meditation was that what is it that I should do? And that is where he took the decision ultimately that I shall go to United States of America, because on his during his wanderings he was told that there is these celebrations are going on in USA of Columbus coming, so 400 years are completed, and a lot of seminar symposiums are there, and this Parliament of World Religions is being held. So you go and represent Hindu Dharma. But Swami Vivekananda said, no, I want to do something here first. But then he felt that no, when we talk of oneness, it is not that I will do only here, it has to be also the whole world. I have to understand it. And perhaps he was confident that America will appreciate what he wants to tell, the eternal principles of Hindu Dharma. America will appreciate it better, and if America appreciates, then my people will also appreciate. And that's how he took the decision here sitting on this rock. And then we know that in the Parliament of Religions, this is the photo of Chicago Parliament of Religions, Swami Vivekananda was very well received. He became the most popular figure. Then on his return to India, he told, wake up Bharat, you have to give this message of oneness to the world. Swamiji became a very great inspiration for the people of India, for the youth of India, not only at that time, even today. Even today our experience is when we take Swamiji's words to youth, the youth get inspired. And that is how when later his centenary was being celebrated in 1963, it was felt that on that rock on which he had meditated, it is as important as, like that Bodhi tree under which Bhagwan Buddha had meditated. So here we must have a very befitting memorial, and that plan was met. There were few difficulties, but in those days, because money was a problem, everything, and yet collecting 1 rupee donation from people, 85 lakhs were collected. Each state government, whatever may be its religion, region, creed, starting from Sheikh Abdullah's government in Jammu and Kashmir till Tamil Nadu, and starting from Nagaland till Gujarat. All state governments gave 1 lakh rupees each. So in true sense, it became a national memorial. And these are all the different phases. So later the memorial was built, a grand memorial came up. But the question was that, can we limit the memorial to Swami Vivekananda only to granite? When his message was, wake up Bharat, you had to contribute to the progress of humanity, and therefore there has to be a living memorial. A memorial in the lives of young men and women, in the lives of people who want to give something of themselves for the good of the this message, for the good of the country, for the good of the people, for the good of the humanity. And that is how Vivekananda Kendra was started. You know, Swamiji, when he was in United States of America, he was in one of his letters he write that I may die here of cold and hunger. That was before he became well known. And in the same letter, later he writes, 100,000 men and women fired with the zeal of holiness, fortified with the eternal faith in Lord, nerved to the lion's courage. Why the lion's courage? Because of their sympathy for the poor and the fallen and the downtrodden, shall go to the length and breadth of this land, preaching the gospel of equality, gospel of social raising up, gospel of help. So that was Swamiji's dream, and therefore Swamiji's living memorial should be in the lives of such young men and women who are ready to go to any part of the country, who offer themselves fully. And that is how Vivekananda Kendra was started. This is one of such young men and women who are taking, that initiation. So that photo, I will just explain you what those, because I am also one of such cadre of Vivekananda Kendra. That is, those who want to come and join and then get trained and then work for the people. There are different types of categories. There are some, they say, no, we have our own family, we have our own responsibilities, so we cannot join fully. But they give their committed time, so they are the local workers or local karyakartas. Then there are some, they give their full life and they join. So they are called as Jivan Vrati, that is who have taken this vow for their whole life. So that is how I also had joined. When I was in class 11, that is some 16 years old. At that time I happened to read about Vivekananda Kendra in newspaper, that like this they give training and then they send to different tribal and rural areas for service. So I was very fascinated by that. I went to my father and I told him that, see, I want to join. My father told, no, one has to be graduate if one has to join. You cannot just join like that. At least you have to prove yourself by having a degree. And my father also thought that she will forget over the 3 years. So he said, okay, if you want you can go, but you have to be graduate. Then I told, all right. And I did my graduation. I was getting a scholarship since my high school. I was always first class first in my college, in my district. And therefore when I wrote my last paper of BSc final year, I came back home and immediately I wrote a postcard, a letter, to Kanyakumari saying I want to join this. And then I told my father also. Then my father and mother both were really, I should say, very great that they said, okay, you do that. I got the letter. Eknathji, who was the president of Vivekananda Kendra and who was also the force behind that Vivekananda Rock Memorial, he said he is on the tour, he will be coming to such and such place nearby my area, and therefore you can come and meet me. I went to meet him. When I went to meet him, I had not even completed my 19 years. So I was quite young. My degree was a bit faster. Therefore, I told him my result has not come, but I am sure I will pass. So you can consider me as a graduate and you have to select me. Then he said, you are too young. so better you come after 2 years, as told by Hamsa. Then I told, okay, if you don't select me, I will go somewhere, but I want to work. Then he laughed. He said, you may say, but your parents won't allow you. I told, no, they will allow. I have already talked to them. He said, I will come to your house. And that is how he used to go even to the houses of those who want to join. He came to our house later. Then he talked to my parents. And my father asked me, you don't want to do MSc, PhD and all that. I told him that, see, once I have decided that I want to go in this path, why I should spend my time on other road for just like that. So I want to go. Then later, because it was required, I did in Vivekananda Kendra itself my masters and also my degree in education. But my parents gave permission, and that's how I went and I joined. So in our time, the training was, first theoretical training was for 9 months. We had to get up morning at 4:30. Then there is Pratasmaran at 5:15. Pratasmaran means a shloka, that is some chants, in which it is said that I am not just this body mind, but I am that consciousness which expresses, as this whole thing. But I am still beyond this. What is that? Unchangeable. So I have no death. I have no. I don't change. I am that unchangeable forever. This body mind is only what I have taken for doing certain work. So that is how that chanting is. So that chanting we do. Later we have yogasan, pranayam practice for around 1.5 hour. After that we chant Bhagavad Gita. Then breakfast. Then we used to have a lot of classes on Bhagavad Gita, on the situation of our society today, how we should work in the society. When we talk of oneness, I cannot go to the society saying that, see, they are poor, or they are tribal, or they are rural, and I am very so civilized, so advanced, so educated, and I am going to serve them. If we go in that sense, we can never do service. First, we should become one with them. We should really see what is good in them and how can we retain it. And then whatever support is required for them in education, in medical field or whatever it is, that we have to give. So how to understand society, how to become one with them, all that was part of the training. Then suppose we go, how we contact the people. So what are all our mediums of reaching out to people? So training us in that. So like that it was 9 months theoretical training. Then we had practical training for almost 4 years. Then again we are called back for 3 months theoretical training, and after 5 years that initiation is given. So that is how the Jivan Vrati. Then there are some who have their own family, they need salary. We don't get salary. All our needs are only taken care of. We take some advance at the beginning of the month. At the end of the month, we submit the account. But there are some who need salaries. So they come as teachers of our Vidyalayas, that is schools. Then there are some, they say, giving my whole life, I don't know whether I can give. But maybe I can work for 2 years like this or 3 years like this. So those who come for such limited period, they are called as Sevavrati. And there are also some who finish all their responsibilities, but they are still quite energetic. They may be 55, 16. They say, still I have 10 years, 15 years. I can still work for the society. And when I was young, I didn't know about this. Otherwise, I would have joined it. But now I must have an opportunity to come and work. So we call them Vanaprasthi. So they are such category. So all these categories of Karyakartas, they join Vivekananda Kendra. Now, once they join, then there are different types of activities. And we say for Vivekananda Kendra, yoga is its core. Because ultimately this practice of oneness in life. And ultimately in that 2 things are there. One is that you turn inward, and somewhere we have limited our consciousness to our body-mind complex. And therefore we are always running after the materials. And that creates lot of dissatisfaction in us. So one is delimiting that consciousness. That is one type of practice. The other is employing our body-mind complex in the service of our own larger existence. That is, the larger existence of individual is family. Family's larger existence is, or the bigger identity is society. Society's bigger identity is humanity. Humanity's bigger identity is creation. So that is what that circle it shows, a continuous expanding consciousness. So we say yoga is the core of Vivekananda Kendra. We have all over India now 650 brand centers and project places put together. Now I will just very briefly just show the projects that Kendra is running apart from the brand centers in cities and towns, and then we can have interaction. So these are the three regular going activities. In any city or town we are there, we conduct yoga varga. We for children we conduct samskara varga. That is something like the children also should be acquainted to these ideas. Then that disciplining of body mind should take place. And third is swadhyaya varga. It is more about knowing. Otherwise the knowledge gets lost. All this. So therefore that is mainly for the youth. So these are the three regular activities. Then service projects are there. Before that, of course, we conduct lot of camps, yoga shiksha shibir, spiritual retreats, youth camps, training camps for teachers, for workers of Vivekananda Kendra. Then many projects are there in the field of education, rural development, natural resources development, and all that. So just a few photos we shall see. This is Arun Jyoti. It is a multi-purpose service project in Arunachal Pradesh, which is at the northeastern border of India. So there we have these 5 forums through which we work in the society. So one is for Medicare, another education, third is for culture, fifth is for women, and then for youth. So like that 5 forums are there. This is our Institute of Culture at Guwahati. This Vivekananda Kendra Institute of Culture does very important work. That this oneness of existence. So we may have differences, diversities. That is, my name of God may be different. Someone to which God he worships, that name of God may be different. The name of festivals are different. Languages are different. The way we wear dresses is different. The way we build our houses and stay, what food we eat is different. But our attitude towards life is same. Our that is, we view the whole existence as expression of one. This in India, there are many communities. Just to give you the figure, 1,560 traditional communities, not what we call here in USA. Here it is more a locality is called as a community. There it is the traditional community. So that tradition is specific. So all these communities, though there are differences, how we are all connected with each other. Unless that connection is focused, sometimes the diversity can lead to separateness or even fights. That is why this Institute of Culture is doing remarkable research by involving community. Participatory research it is. So these are some of the photos. Then we have for women, because we found in rural areas the women are very active. They take care of the family. So if economic well-being is taken care of, they take care of family, education of the children very well. So there are many such projects for them. Then this is another in Maharashtra. There also many things are there. In Orissa also we have got. In Orissa, this is Arunachal Pradesh. We have now 35 schools. Total schools in Arunachal, Assam, Nagaland, we have 65 schools. So these are some of the photos, sorry. These are some of the photos of schools. Vivekananda Kendra conducts Samuhik Surya Namaskar. So this is in Guinness Book of Record also. That at Gwalior, 29,000, almost nearly 30,000 students had performed Surya Namaskar, that is the yoga, at a time. So this photo is of that. Then some of the publications. We also have hospitals, many medical centers, mobile medical vans. This natural resources development project, that is for sustainable development, when we are coming up that time itself, if our approach is towards sustainable development, then that would be good in the interest of the nature as well as humanity. So that work also we are doing. We had got Ashden Award also for our work. These are all some of the photos of that. Then we have rural development in 5 states. So in that various things are there. What photo you see there, it is a mound of rice. Those who do not get food to eat, there are many who have adequate food. So what we do, we just ask them that every day while cooking you take out handful of rice aside. Or a farmer is doing harvesting, just keep one bag aside and we go and collect all that. And that we then give to the children who do not get food every day, proper food. So like that we collect nearly 40,000 kilos of rice per year. And we distribute it in 5 southern districts of Tamil Nadu. So like that various different activities are there. This is our Vedic Vision Foundation in Kerala. So as Swami Vivekananda had told, the earth's bravest and the best will have to sacrifice themselves for the good of the many, for the welfare of the all. And that is what was Swamiji's call for all of us. And ultimately, as Swamiji had told, arise, awake and stop not till the goal is reached. So with this I conclude, and whatever questions you would like to ask about anything, we can have discussion.
This modern world that you reference, we put a lot of emphasis on growing up, graduating college, and getting a job. We quantify the growth in our life more often than not in dollars or the things that we own. And for a lot of us in the United States, this is the only world that we can visualize. So for people such as myself, who's going to graduate with an engineering degree, how is it that we pursue growth and family in our own lives and growth in our career, while at the same time, I suppose, growing spiritually?
Yeah, very good question. It is true. Unfortunately, we have started quantifying the growth, and that too in the terms of our income, means whatever I have or whatever I can get. But as Swami Vivekananda had told, that see, the truth does not pay homage to society. The society has to pay homage to truth or perish. We can also say it for individual. That is, the truth that will not pay homage to me. I have to pay homage to truth or I will perish. The fact is, I am not separate from the society, from the nature. And if my lifestyle is only to quantify this, how much I have, it is true, for some time it will go. Like for example, just to give the example, which Swami Vivekananda himself had given, that gravitational force. A person cannot say that, no, I don't accept gravitational force. Or he says, I don't know about gravitational force. So when I jump from the tree, I should not fall down. If he says that, that will not be so. If he jumps, he has to fall down. He will fall down. The ignorance or the rejection of the truth is not going to save you. Only for falling few seconds are required. So those few seconds he will be alive. That's all. So there is, for some time we can go with the wrong practices. But there is an end to it. And then somewhere all things start going to go wrong. That's what Swami Vivekananda used to tell, that when we will be working for the people to bring them up economically, socially, also give them the spiritual ideas, so that the question will be only not how much I have, but the question will be also that how I can offer myself or something that I have to keep my larger existence, that is the society and creation, the humanity, intact. So this thought has to go side by side. And that's what Swami Vivekananda predicted here also when he was here. He said the whole Europe is sitting on the, so to say, volcano, and it is going to erupt in coming few years. And we know 2 world wars came up. Next prediction he had also done, that the laborer force will come up from Russia and China. Then he had told China is a sleeping giant. Don't think that China is nothing. A day will come when China will come up. He is telling that in those days. And that those predictions also have come true. So we can say that the practices, yoga practices that he had done, and also the exposure that he had of the philosophy as well as the societies in both the hemisphere of the earth, his observations were quite for the good of the society and the humanity. So therefore, somewhere that spiritual dimension has to come in our life. Man is 2 things, body and self. Soul is slightly, I don't want to use it, because many times soul is considered in English as a finer body, but it is not body. It is the Atman, that is what always exists. It will never go. And the Atman of all of us is same. So we have 2 things. Now if I go only for the needs of my body, you know what happens? I get totally oblivious of my this second and the real dimension of existence. So I have to take care of my body, mind complex, its needs, but there is certain limit. If I go more behind that, my inner being is more and more, emptied, I can say, or it is depleted. So we have to nourish both the things, and therefore in our life such practices have to be there in our own way. So for that various ways are there. Suppose my nature is more of devotion, then I can, whatever God I worship, I should go in that way. I don't much believe in God and all, then I should go more analysis way. I want more practices, then I can go this yoga, Raja Yoga practice. Or I am more a person of action, then I must learn the secret of action, in which slowly I nourish both the aspects of my being. So these are all different yogas which Swamiji had taken lectures in America only. And all those 4 yogas are brought out, they are available. So Raja Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga. So whatever is our mental makeup, accordingly we can pick up that yoga and read. Or we can read all the 4 and then decide also.
Particularly those of you who have to move on, questions from those of you?
Since nobody else is. I was just going to say, in addition to what you've just said, I think this idea of not stealing that you spoke about yesterday, could you sort of say that again as a response to Alex's question?
See, in yoga, there are certain practices, and we were discussing that yesterday. Some of us, we were sitting in a place. So that's what she is referring to. In that one is, which all of us, in our young age, our parents have taught us that we should not steal. We should not steal from others. In all religious tradition, this is the moral injunction that is taught. Now, what is stealing? So we may feel that we are all following this, but the stealing has a different meaning. That is non-stealing. It is not just that I don't go and take his some material or something which belongs to her, and if I take, then it is stealing. The concept of stealing is that when I grew up, so many contributed for that. My family contributed. Even sometimes, let us say, my father is, taking me and entering in the bus, and I am very dynamic kid, and the bus is going very fast. So someone immediately gets up, gives a place. You have a baby, you sit here. Later, they are not going to even meet each other. They don't know each other's name. But somebody has helped. A child is playing on the road, and from there a bull is coming. So some young man goes running, he picks up the child. So like that, so many have worked to take care of me. The society has worked, the nature has worked. So when I grow up, I cannot say that whatever I earn is only for myself. Because all of them have helped me. And therefore, I have to part at least a part of it for them. I should give it, I should offer it. And only then my practice of non-stealing is complete. But if I don't give them, I don't go and take anyone's material. But when I was growing up, that time so many had cared for me. And if I don't give back to my parents, to my family, to my society, to my, the humanity whom I don't know, somebody must have helped me somewhere. And if I don't do that, then I am stealing. Because everyone wants only to take and grow. But slowly what will happen, if everyone becomes like this, a stealer, then a time will come that we are unconcerned. If a child is there and a bull is coming, we say, okay, it's not our problem, not our baby. Why should I go? That bull may hit me also. Even if a mother is struggling to take care of her baby, we say, oh, it's her baby, why we should do? And then slowly we become more and more cut off from our own larger existence. And as we get cut off, we become hollow from within. We feel as if we are going to pieces. So that is why we have to nurture our larger existence. Another example that yesterday we were discussing, the hand is there, for example. The larger existence of the hand is, let us say, the body, the larger form. It is the part, this is the whole. Now what hand does? The hand keeps on feeding, it cleans the body. And then if we become calculative, as sometimes we are becoming, so suppose the hand becomes calculative and the hand says this is too much. Every time I have to, pick up the food, put in the mouth, pick up the food, put in the mouth. I work hard, and who enjoys? The mouth enjoys. So this is too much. I am not hereafter going to feed this mouth which is lazy, sitting in a place, and therefore if the mouth has to take care, let it take care of itself. I am not going to feed. And if I find that these chips are very crispy, I keep it with myself for the feel of it. And that's how it starts keeping the chips. What will happen? It has not taken care of its larger existence. Few days it can keep, and then the hand will have no strength, it will fall down. So that is how in oneness, our larger existence is our family, our society, the whole humanity, the nature. If we have not nurtured, taken care of it, a time comes when we start getting empty within, when we start going to pieces, when our inner being gets hurt. That is what spirituality is. Spirituality is not somewhere you go in a corner and sit, looking in a sky somewhere. For meditation and all, true, no doubt. But that is how the spirituality should be radiated. It should be seen, that the oneness that one feels with the all.
A lot of what we saw in the slideshow was stuff that the organization was doing in India. Is there a global organization, or are there ideas to maybe do more global stuff with the Swami organization?
It's doing in India, and then what
Are there plans for beyond India, for in other places?
at present we don't have. This is the first, so to say, from Vivekananda Kendra someone has come. Earlier, only when the centenary celebration in 1993 of Swamiji's speech at Chicago was there, at that time our president and vice president of that time, both of them had come. And they had attended only the function and gone back. But like this, a tour for 1 month, which specifically I am doing because it is the 150th birth anniversary of Swami Vivekananda. So that is the first. Maybe in future we will have.
I thought Swami Vivekananda established 1 or 2 centers when he was visiting.
Yeah,
So-
when he
so
went
what's
round,
going on?
there were many Americans who wanted to learn from him yoga, then take lessons from him. So in Thousand Island Park and in various cities, he used to conduct very long classes. That is maybe 1 month duration, 2 months duration, for a specific number. And some of them even became the monks and the nuns. They followed Swami Vivekananda's message, but they practiced it here. Few went to India also, and here then they started Vedanta centers. Vedanta means that oneness. So that centers they started here, and I think they continue. There are centers.
There's a Vedanta Society in Kansas City.
Yeah, in Kansas City also it is there. We had gone there. It is there.
I know that some people need to move on in just a moment, so why don't we, while we're all here, let's please, and we'll continue after a short break. So just
Pradesh, the most backward area. As such, Arunachal Pradesh is a whole tribal area, and this school is still. Yes.
Is this video available online?
Huh?
Is this video available on YouTube or on?
Yeah, it is available.
Cool.
YouTube, I have.
Yeah.
This one, the other one from Assam.
YouTube पर नहोती? Okay. Some Assam school is there available on
Okay, because
YouTube.
I'd like to share with others.
Yes, I can share. I think Vivekananda Kendra website it is available.
I think so, maybe.
There are several, they have like 50 odd schools, so there are about 8 or 10 different school films are like this. So I'm not sure whether this particular one is available, but there are few others which are.
Many are loaded on Vivekananda Kendra website also. So I think this may be available. Or we will upload it.
That's not the only region that these schools exist, is it?
Huh?
That's not the only region of India, is it?
it's not the only region, right? It's in other schools, other places.
Yeah. So in Arunachal Pradesh itself, we have 35 schools in different parts. Then in Nagaland we have one. Then in Assam we have. Assam, that film also I have. It is in the biggest river island in the world. One Majuli place is there. In Brahmaputra river, that is, it seems that is the biggest river island, natural river island in the world. So in that lot of soil erosion, then when it rains, because all different streams around, then even the school goes in water. Then instead of coming by bus, our children come by boat. So that video also I have, that is slightly longer, we can start in between if you want to see. So that is from the Assam. Then Andaman Nicobar Islands we had, when tsunami came, one of our school was completely erased. Then south we have 4 schools, but most of the schools are in northeastern part and Andaman Nicobar Islands. Total now 65 schools are there.
And there's also projects in other parts of India. In other words,
Then there are many other service projects. In education, schools are there. Various like education, rural development, Medicare, natural resources development, publications, like that various projects are there.
This isn't a question about the school, but there's the question of the philosophy of oneness. I understand that the idea is that everyone's own spiritual practices are leading kind of to the same place, or the same divine entity, and there's a respect for differences. But say with a religious sect or a religious person, they say with, it's just an example, they do harm to themselves or do harm to other people in the name of this, like their spiritual practice.
Don't harm others.
Yeah, or to themselves. Is there a line we draw between respecting someone's spiritual differences and like doing harm or violence?
So if the idea is to accept other religions, to accept and respect other religions, how can we do that what if there's a religion that is saying that violence is okay or that allows, yeah.
You are right, and that is where what Swami Vivekananda used to tell, that actually each path is valid for that person. But if violence is legitimate part of any religious tradition, especially against those who are not part of that religion, then somewhere this spiritual dimension needs to go to that religion. And therefore you see anywhere, even if it is insurgency, it is militants or militant movement, when it starts, to kill others, all right, but ultimately there is no others. So what you start violence, it comes back to you. So every militant organization, later it gets fragmented and then they start killing each other. Everywhere it has happened in the world. So whether today, now we see in Pakistan or Afghanistan certain things happening, it is because of this. That's what same thing what Swamiji told, that truth does not pay homage to society. Society has to pay homage to truth or perish. And oneness of existence is the truth. Today which ecology has realized, science is realizing, quantum physics is realizing. But if we go against it, then one day or other it is going to come back to us. And that realization is there in all religious traditions where violence, suppose, was there. Somewhere those who are thinking, they are feeling it. They want to develop the higher spiritual dimension in their religion. So it is at such time the help is required, and humanity as it grows, evolves further and further. I think it will realize to leave this violent part of the religion behind. And that violent part mainly comes because of exclusive approach. That is, I alone am right, others are wrong. So once that goes, it will come.
I actually think religions don't promote violence. It's people misinterpret what the religion is trying to promote. So instead of, most religions promote peace, but the people are just misinterpreting like a certain text or something to just back up what they themselves believe rather than what the religion is promoting.
No, you are right that those who started the religious traditions, naturally they were all spiritual giants. But the point is whether the correct interpretations are allowed. Unfortunately, the misinterpretations, if they are in the hands of the leadership, then it is a problem.
But in that case, you can't really blame the religion. You have to...
Exactly. That's why we should not blame the religion.
Yeah.
So as every religious tradition has this spiritual dimension, that should grow further. And the exclusive interpretations should slowly be left behind. That is how it will have to be done.
As part of existing, through my senses, there are a great many beautiful and wonderful things in the world that I can take part in, and I guess that to some degree can give my existence a form of meaning. But how is it that we can tell the difference between things that are beautiful and beneficial and the difference between things like vices and excess?
Difference between beautiful things and?
A vice or excess.
How do we take it?
how do we say how do you differentiate that this is actually beautiful versus
Craving.
a craving? Oh, I must have this camera. You know, it's like, how do you know if owning this camera is excess or not?
I guess that's a very material example, but like, for example, how do I know the difference between in enjoying going to get a meal or taking the meal in excess?
Taking?
Too much.
Too much.
Eating too much.
Or I guess in United States culture, our culture is almost one of excess. We take almost everything in excess simply because we can or are expected to. So how do we tell the difference between living a life where we enjoy experience because we're sincerely capable of it, and living a life where I guess the only thing we do is take what we can from the experiences that we partake in?
A very simple test is that more and more I am taking, whether I am really at peace. Or whether only I become more dissatisfied, I want only still more things. So that is the test. So somewhere then I am going wrong.
It's very elegant.
Even Swami Vivekananda, the tradition says, okay, if you think this is right, and if you feel really this is working for you, and this is how is giving you real happiness, go behind it. Test yourself. But have the guts in life that when you feel that no, this is not working, then leave it and go in the search of real truth. And when you come face to face with truth, don't be afraid of truth.
You said a lot of people more often don't want to help others because it's not their problem, but you do help someone and they take advantage of you, or who do you help? You can't help everyone. How do you differentiate between
Whom do you
who
help?
and when?
Whom do you help?
Yeah. When do you help them?
The first thing is really the help is only to the person nearby or whom you see or what you perceive. Only in that the help should be whether you are strengthening that person in his own path, in his own the way of growth, because it is different for all. My aspirations may be different, my path may be different, and her path may be different, and then I feel that she needs help. But if in that help I start forcing my path on her, then I am not doing help. So it's only that we strengthen a person in their own road or the path. As yesterday I was giving example. So first thing is that I had read one story. There was a lady, she used to talk of universal love, we should love everyone and all that. So there was a symposium for that on universal love. So she was going for that, and the snowfall was going on. But she told her driver that don't put the heater on. It's not good. You just close the door and sit inside. Driver cannot come in the hall. And she is talking inside on universal love. And then when she went out, the driver was frozen to death. So that's not the thing. So it means the concern to the people around us. Start with. And then of course it is not that first I do here, then later I will see. It is simultaneous. I also think of others. But I cannot think somewhere and here I am neglecting. That cannot be the case. And the example that I was giving about yesterday only we had lot of discussions. So about this path, that help is to help a person in his own mental makeup and his own way of growth. So that is different. Suppose I am a person of great emotions. Means I am a person of emotions. So for me, devotion of God, prayers and all will work fine, just fine. But suppose he is a person who is not a person of emotion. He doesn't have even much faith in God or something. And I keep on telling him, no, you should do that. I will not help him. I will actually not allow him either on his path also or in my path also. So that is another thing. So when suppose we go to tribal areas, we don't try to tell them that we are civilized and you have to be like that. In their own way, how self-renewal can take place. So the example that yesterday we were discussing, India's map is like this. So I am in Kanyakumari. Kanyakumari is the southernmost tip of India. Then let us say my friend, she is in Arunachal Pradesh. Arunachal Pradesh is northeastern part, or actually mostly eastern part of India. Now both of us, we want to go to Kashi. Kashi is a place where Shiva temple is there. So both of us, that is our destination. I also want to reach there. She also wants to reach there. And I ask people in Kanyakumari, how do we reach Kashi? GPS and all is not there. Internet is not there. Google Earth is not there. The olden days. Now I want to know how to reach Kashi. So I ask the people there, how do we reach Kashi? And people say, very simple, we are in the southernmost, Kashi is in the north. You just keep traveling, keep asking people, they will guide you and you will reach Kashi. And I start doing that. I reach Kashi. Then I come back and at some point, again both of us we meet. She comes to Kanyakumari and we meet. Or I go to Assam, I meet her. And then I tell her, I know how to go to Kashi. Very simple. Just keep traveling to north, keep asking people, they will keep you guiding and you reach Kashi. Then she says, no, I also made inquiries in my area and they told me you had to travel to the west, then only Kashi will come. Then I says, you fool, you don't know. I have myself gone. And Kashi comes in northern direction only. So don't follow these fools, they don't know. You listen to me. Because I have gone, I have experienced. It comes in northern direction. And suppose I force her so much and ultimately she listens to me, unfortunately, then she will start going in the northern direction. So northern direction, if she keeps traveling, she will go to China. Then Mongolia, then northern pole. If she survives that and survives the southern pole also, ultimately she will come back only to Assam, but Kashi will not come. Because her location is different, her path is different. So same way the growth, inner growth, spiritual growth, I may be at certain angle, she may be at certain angle, he may be at certain angle. So we cannot say that my path alone is true, or my way of living alone is true, or my way of doing alone is true. Maybe your way is wrong, but then you find out. If you are feeling unhappy as he asked, somewhere you have lost peace of mind, then somewhere you have strayed from your path. Again find it out. But there cannot be single path to truth. That is it.
Is it 25?
Yeah, so please join me in one more time thanking Didi so much for being with us here today.